this All-Star weekend, LeBron to the bucket. Man, a friend of mine in Indianapolis, right? Say, son came home and say, Blueface gonna be at their school the next day. Come to find out, it wasn't Blueface; it was Babyface. They live in Indianapolis. They
Wow.
live in Indianapolis. You know, it's an All-Star game.
Hey,
Hey man, y'all welcome back to another edition, another episode of Church After Hours. As you can see, we got the whole gang together. I think this is the first time in the 3 years of the podcast we got all five of us on here together, man. So that's a task in itself, but we here, man. And
Them niggas
tonight,
is on probation. They gonna be out here.
here he go. The main one late, but talk about probation. But anyway, tonight's conversation is going to be part one of a 3-part conversation about relationships and marriages in the 21st century. But before we get into the dialogue, man, let's go to Johnny J's first, since this is his first appearance on this season. What's been going on, man?
Hey, same old thing, man. Edit every day, working hard as possible. They know how I get to it, man. Ain't no can't stop, won't stop. Pops raised me, man. Hey, you want to live a certain lifestyle, you got to work a certain lifestyle. You know, I ain't one of them smarty art niggas with a salary job. You know what I mean? Got to
Can't
go
stop,
get it.
won't stop. That nigga about to catch a sexual assault charge.
Hey, why is Bond? Why is this dude in a purple light? Are you in the? Why is he in a purple light? Why is everybody's screens lit up?
He about to
So
catch
we
a
just
sexual assault charge. Can't
this
stop,
dude
won't
is
stop.
this dude is in the what's the
Hey,
this
hey,
dude is in
I
a
thought you liked
purple
Purple
light.
Rain,
What is
nigga.
wrong with this dude?
hey,
I
he
thought you
having
liked Purple Rain.
he having flashbacks of working for Bad Boy with the
Man,
hey,
man.
hey, fellas,
Game blouses.
hey, fellas. We are doing a relationship episode, so we don't want to give these ladies any reason to think that we might be toxic or anything.
Exactly.
So
let's lock
come
in.
let's come to a quorum and
Very
let's get
toxic.
it going.
Ant Bonds and then Kurt, man. How y'all brothers been doing for me so we can go ahead and jump in for real?
Oh, I've been doing good, man. You know how it goes. Like I said last time, we have just been preparing for this foundational golf tournament. Going to Vegas
That's what's up.
tomorrow.
What's up, man?
So,
What's the odds? What's the
yeah.
odds? I need to get some of
Huh?
these parlays going. What's the odds?
Odds for we got to see it once we get out to Vegas. I'll tell you the odds.
All right, that's
So,
what's up.
Barry Bonds, they missed you last week, man. What's been going on since we missed you last episode?
Being as toxic as possible. You know what I'm saying? Dysfunctional as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
My best life. You know what I mean?
hey, Frenchie, how do you follow that up, Frenchie? For real, how do you follow that up, man?
Oh man, how
Come on,
can you
Frank.
follow that up? That's a great
Give us your
question.
best PC statement here. Your best PC politically correct response. Nah, he on my team. We Laker gang.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I feel good, man. I'm happy to be here with all my brothers that are the architects of this podcast.
Facts.
I think this is a pivotal episode in our podcast history. I think this is going to do well. It's going to be well received. It's an open dialogue. It's no judgment. And we're just going to talk about our experiences. Everybody has one and only one.
Well, let's just jump right in. Since this Johnny
Jump
J's
right
first
in.
episode this season, I'm gonna go to him
Jump
first,
right
man.
in.
Talk to me. There you go, Ant.
Jump
We're going on the
right
pause.
in.
We did get. I was just watching your episode earlier when
I
we
wasn't
said
thinking
pause.
about the
This
pause.
episode is brought to you by Grippos. Grippos, holla at me, give me a check. You know what I'm saying? Church at the Hours, we eat this shit like crazy. So, holla.
Oh,
All right.
He's still giving away free publicity.
right. So Johnny J's, I'm gonna go to you, bro. Tell us a little bit about your relationship history and your current status.
I'm recently divorced. I was married for 18 years. Single bachelor man. I hear I'll be 45 in April. I'm a tourist. I mean, my favorite food is seafood, fried chicken,
Long walks in the park.
Macaroni Point.
Nigga, this ain't black
Hey.
people meat.
Hey, I'm just putting it out there. I'm a hardworking black man, but that's my status.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And
Bro, you
Trill,
need no
what's
issues.
and
You don't need
Trill,
more issues.
and Trill, same question to you, brother.
I've been married 17 years to my beautiful bride. Still is my bride. Relationship. I mean, marriage is work. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's off. It's on. It's it's work. It's whatever you put into it. That's what you're gonna get out of it. So sometimes I ain't been putting in shit, and I ain't been getting shit out of it.
I respect that.
So but that's all on me.
Oh, you gonna get naked in
Let's
front
get
of
naked.
everybody.
Let me.
He get naked.
He said,
Just be honest. You know what I mean?
He said no judgment.
no judgment. I love my wife.
Hey,
You know what I'm
judgment
saying?
is good
That's
sometimes.
my dog.
Let's go to Frenchie, then we gonna save my man Bonds Hustle for last because we know he gonna have a onslaught of statements.
He gonna have the whole part one.
So this just the fact that Brother Insight referred to me as Frenchie, even though it say C Cream the second right there. I guess we're gonna get a little messy.
My bad,
doc-
Curtis.
My daughter in the back yard playing with Messi. Nah. But for real, man. Hey, I've been married for 16 years though, despite some of the turbulent, times that my marriage has had. But nobody likes turbulence on a plane, right?
Right.
Everybody gets a little choked up, except for the crew. They seem to be okay with it, but everybody else is, a little shaken up. So I say that to say that, my marriage has survived some, turbulent times. I've had some counseling from the Reverend. He tried to revive me, but I kept on playing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I kept on playing.
No judgment.
And when you
The
say the
art-
Reverend, you talk about Reverend Pipers that we sat down with.
Yeah. I was
season
just gonna
one.
say that. I was
Okay.
just gonna say the Reverend, brother, but
Okay, my bad.
Pastor.
Damn, D.
Pastor, since you bring him up, I say Pastor Pipers, right?
Right, my
Pastor
bad.
is the proper term. So Pastor P tried to get me right. But I didn't listen at that time. So I got even more toxic, you know what I'm saying? Like the tube out back of your family house down in Mississippi, you know what I mean? Down
The
at the
outhouse.
bottom, you know what I mean? But somehow we made it, and we have taken some, rough times and made it positive energy. And not only, are we in a marriage, we're also business partners. You know what I mean? Still going, still taking, raising kids, and
That's what's up.
know.
Barry Bonds, you same question to you, man.
Well, I've been married 6 years this year, and
It seemed longer than that. Okay.
no, I'm still trying to figure out the meaning of it. To be honest
He
with
said it seemed longer.
It do seem longer than
Damn.
6 years though.
you. Yeah,
The pandemic just made life slow down for some reason.
Okay.
I'm still
go ahead.
trying to figure out the meaning of this shit, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still trying to figure out, how this shit is, beneficial to a man, because I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it in one way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? And I would give y'all the politically correct answers and whatnot that before me gave, but I don't see the
You
benefit
said
of this
mine
shit.
was politically correct.
Right.
I don't see it. I don't. I think that hey, we get married and shit because hey, this is just the prototype or the example that we've seen before us and everything, and we hear that this is business. This marriage, the institution of marriage is business. But how does this shit benefit a man? I don't get it. I really don't.
I got some answers for you, but go ahead, brother. Go ahead with your statements. Go ahead, brother.
I'm not
I
even
hear you.
talking about sentimental type. I'm not talking about emotionally. I'm talking about how does this institution of marriage benefit a man?
But if
When I
you're
got
not talking
married,
about system, if you're
I
not talking
felt
about
like I
emotionally,
was good dating and before I got married, everything was, I was, it was kind of cool. But then once you get married, it's like a lot of shit stops, and I don't get it. I don't. That's me.
Well, I know everybody's dying to jump in, but I'm gonna give my answer first, and then we can respond to what Barry had to say. I've been married 22 years this coming May. You know what I'm saying? I was the first cat in our crew to get married. A lot of cats call me silly, said I was too young. I shouldn't have been getting married, but I feel like, it's probably the best decision I've ever made in my life. Because I think marriage is what you make it, and what you put in is what you get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people marry the wrong people, and they might not see it initially, because a lot of times we blinded by the wedding itself, the honeymoon in the first year and all that. But once you realize who you with for the rest of your life, or supposed to be for the rest of your life, sometimes you might not like that person. And I'm blessed to say that I didn't have that story. You know what I'm saying? And some people may have that story, but any of my friends and relatives would tell you, I've always wanted to be married. Even when I was a young man, I wanted to create a certain life for myself. And I was blessed to be able to do that with the person that I chose to live the rest of my life with. But let's get back to Bonds. I think Kurt and then Ant had something to respond to his statement.
Yeah, I would say, you have a beautiful son. That's something that, and you did it in the way of being with the person that you married with. So I think that's a beautiful thing right there, brother.
I mean, but is that warrant, you know what I'm saying? You having to take bullshit along the way, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody gave you a son, I mean,
I didn't say nothing. No,
but,
I didn't say nothing about no bullshit, because y'all Frenchie over here don't take no bullshit, that boy. We'll take that bullshit, that boy.
I think you said that.
I said what?
Taking BS.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. You know what? The thing is that we far too many times we downplay our involvement in the creation of these kids. You know what I'm saying? These kids come from our nuts, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got the seed. They are the incubators. They hold and they're the holders, or the carriers of said seed that comes from us. We are the givers of life.
That's not true, Barry. I can't let you do that. And you go say I'm being politically correct, but that's just not true.
Don't come from your nuts.
Yeah, but it can't. It's nothing until it attaches to the egg, though. So you acting like we can have kids by ourselves. That's just
the egg going to fertilize itself?
It's not. Your seed is what I'm talking about. Your seed is going to fertilize, but you the man. But the seed has to connect with the egg. Am I correct? So we can't have a child without them, and they can't have a child without us.
Bro, the seed comes from your nuts. You know what I'm saying?
We understand that, Barry.
Okay,
we went to health classes as kids.
Okay,
brother.
All right. If you went to health class, you know that then.
Again, neither one of us can have children without each other. So that dispels the whole foolishness you just said. You know what I'm saying?
The seed comes from the nuts.
It ain't foolishness. Johnny, you look like an embryo, little dude.
It shouldn't be.
All right.
It shouldn't be.
He's talking about with his little hat, with a little hat with the tail on the back.
Hey,
you look like a little embryo.
Hey,
go ahead.
He envious.
You look like a swimmer.
Life. You envious of my lifestyle. You wish you had my lifestyle. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. You wish you had my lifestyle.
Okay, so let me ask
Hey, insert the Jeopardy music right there with his face making that face right there. That should be the thumbnail right there. Put the Jeopardy music over his head. Like,
but Bonds, let me ask you this question.
Do that.
Let me ask you
really, Johnny.
Let me ask you this question though, Bonds, and this is a real question though, because you've had, I won't say disparaging, but you've had some rather harsh things to say about marriage. My question to you is, one, why get married? And two, why stay married if you feel like it's no benefits for the man? Because those are your own words that you just stated.
Well, how you gonna understand or even know if there's any benefits in marriage if you don't get married? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be in it to be able to see what it produces. You know?
Now that you know that,
right?
So what?
But now that I know that, it's like, okay, you know what, this thing is a little bit more than just the love and, you know, feelings and all that bullshit that everybody tells you. You know what I'm saying? This right here is more about, you know, a construct that is steeped in business. You know what I'm saying? To help you get ahead, you know, financially, as well as being able to put your kids in a better position, you know, to succeed. Now, my thing was this: is like, you know what? I want to make sure that my son comes up and sees, you know, a two-parent household. I want him to be able to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Regardless of if I feel like, you know, because that's just a personal thing. Personal thing for me is personal. So when you get married, it's like, okay, now I gotta play, now I gotta take one for the team.
Barry,
But
Barry,
let me ask you
personally,
this. Let me ask
I'm
you
with
this.
you on
Personally.
that. I'm
What
with
is
you
the
on that.
benefit? What does it benefit? Like, and I'm not, because, you know, I'm not coming at it like a judging way, but I'm just saying from the,
No,
what
talk,
is the
man.
benefit of, because I've heard others say this, like I have other friends who say that, like, I want to see my child come up in a two-parent household. But if it's toxic and if it's like, you know what I'm saying? What's the benefit of that? What is the benefit of coming up with a two-parent household when all I saw is
Another good point.
care and then
When you're
just
saying it's
bull
toxic.
and bullshit?
Another good
No, I
point.
get you.
What's
I
the
Another
get you.
good
benefit for
point.
the child?
Well, see, the thing
Hey,
is
hold
that
on
us
for
as
a second.
adults,
Hold on for a second.
yeah.
Bro. Hey, don't. I hope your wife ain't over there giving you questions to ask, and because them some good questions. You
That was
know
a
what I
great
mean?
What's this
question.
question? Nigga,
I'm saying she ain't standing behind the camera with no with no
With cue
you
cards.
must not, no, nigga, no. French, come on with that,
All
man.
right, come on.
Woman was created,
And
the Bible says woman was created for man.
talk about it. Talk
But
about
let
it.
me say this
And
though, Bonds. Let me say this, and
now let
then
me
you can.
answer this man's question.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm
All right, so this the
and the
thing
reason
is
why I
that,
do ask, I don't have children.
Right.
I've been married
yeah,
17 years. I don't have children. So,
yeah.
but I do like understand like what a two-parent household, but if it's toxic, what's the difference?
Well, if it's toxic, then you know you try to maintain some type of semblance of structure and normalcy for your child. You know what I'm saying? Where you know you try to keep it, even playing field where you know everybody at least has their wants and their needs met, even if you know it's a chore for you to meet them. You know what I'm saying? It's a sacrifice all the way around. You know,
Hey,
but
that's a
you do this
great.
sacrifice of the child because you want the child to be able to come up in a way that you didn't. I didn't come up in a way with two-parent households. So it's like for
So,
me, it's important to me that I sacrifice and like just take one for the team for my son. You know
so
what I'm saying?
Okay, hold
how
on,
long
hold
do you
on.
think you can
But
be able to maintain that sacrifice, mentally, physically, from your day to day life? How long? At
I'm gonna
what
give you the
age?
secret,
At
Johnny.
what age?
That's a good question.
At what age does your son get to the point where you say, "Okay, I think he good. I need to get my head together," and because you can't live in that toxic environment and say that you find some. You said normalcy in there, like where
It's
for how
not gonna
long?
be no normalcy.
Right.
No,
yeah,
that's a good
that's what
Let,
question,
let, let
Johnny.
me let me say this before Bonds responds to that, because this is what I wanted to interject. And this to me makes all the sense in the world. Marriage is hard. Marriage is not easy. And I don't talk about my personal life, but we go get naked. We go get naked. My friends and family members know the 7th year of my marriage was the hardest year of my marriage. We almost didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of issues internally, you know what I'm saying, that we was butting heads on. And one thing that me and my wife said, we will not stay married just to say we married for the sake of our kids if we're still frustrated and not in a good space for our children, because what that does is you now make a blueprint for your kids to look at dysfunction and to say that dysfunction is okay at the behest of us staying together, just for our kids to say that the parents are still together. And my dad has the saying, I know y'all all heard this before, the first law of nature is self-preservation.
Yeah.
So why I don't agree with that stand for the kids nonsense, because I feel like you're teaching your children the wrong way to look at life. Yes, life is hard. Me and your mom didn't make it. She's moving forward. I'm moving forward, and I'm still gonna love you regardless. I'm
Well,
not gonna.
I
I'm
think
not.
the answer for brother Barry is that he does have feelings. There's more to it than that. Go ahead,
Accountability.
brother.
Then he got to say that though.
It's
Come
a
on, man.
listen, I can answer for myself. I'm a grown
Okay.
man. It's accountability. And I'm very big on accountability. And the thing is that even back in the days of our grandparents, some grandparents, I'm not saying y'all's, but some grandparents, they probably didn't have the best relationship. and some of the grandfathers was probably out here with other homes and in other
They
homes.
was. We know that. Yeah.
All right. So that's what I'm saying. But they still knew accountability that they needed to say, if I started this family, I need to finish this family, and I need to be there to be able to, keep
But
this
check
family
it. But check it out though. But
And
check
that
it out
helped.
though.
Hold on, Playboy. That helped a lot of us, a lot of our families, to be able to move forward and to be able to be in a better place structurally, in the future. Now, once everything else happens,
Barrett, I think that's a great segue for our next question. What do you expect out of a relationship? That because you've already defined, it sounds like to us what you expect. But Jay, since you're newly single, what do you expect out of a relationship now?
At this point, and the way I'm moving, I think I've taken. We've been separated a year, almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in May. So at this
You
point,
miss her? Do you miss her?
do I miss her? No, I don't. I don't miss the dysfunction I was in. I don't miss the. And I can be honest. We get naked. I mistreated her. She mistreated me. I believe it wasn't a good environment for my kids to see anymore. Even though you get to the point where your kids they don't become immune to it, but every now and then, and me having girls, I have 4 girls. They say girls are so much smarter than boys. They knew what it was with just the tension in the air without us saying anything. I mean, they could feel when it's a loving atmosphere and we're eating, we're laughing, watching TV. So the flip side of it, and I come home and go to the basement and turn the TV on and do me for the night. They knew what that was. So when you're living in that,
Hey Jay,
it was.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you what's doing you for the night.
Oh,
What's
so
this stuff?
so and I was building up to the question. I'm out here, like I said, we've been separated a year and a half. I've been divorced all of a week and a half. So
Okay.
I have some friends that I'm talking to as of right now. Really concentrating on work, staying focused, making sure I get that done because I got bills. You know what I mean? I'm not just talking about to the phone company and my rent. I'm talking about bills to her, obligations and responsibilities that I have to
Mm,
pay to her for my children. So I stay
mm,
focused. I stay focused on that. You know what I mean?
mm,
That's got to get done. But
mm.
I'm definitely on the phone with different females when it comes to what I expect from a relationship. Everything that I put in, I expect it back. You know what I mean? And I'm not meaning the 50-50 thing. I'm talking about as far as time. If I'm buying if we going out to dinner, I really want the same treatment that I'm giving you. I want it vice versa. You know what I mean?
Hey,
You got to be able to be at my level. The money that I'm making, I expect you to match that energy.
I
hey,
like that. You going to the Cheesecake Factory?
can we take a moment of
Negative.
silence? Can we take a moment of silence for some real shit? Okay, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. Insight.
Nah, man, my boy just dropped this quote, and I think it's dope, and I want to get y'all take before we even continue the conversation. You are not even alive until peace is your greatest desire for self and others, and the condition you are in. And when I look at a relationship, and that's any relationship, it don't have nothing to do with my wife or anything. Any relationship, if it's not bringing me peace, I feel like I don't need to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because my peace has no price. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's in any type of relationship, whether it be romantic, your work relationship, you know what I'm saying, your relationship with your children, if it's not bringing you peace, either find a way to how to get peace or get away from it, man. You know what I'm
Okay, so
saying?
you're going further than marriage and saying all relationships.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I
Absolutely.
do I
You
do believe
expect peace in all relationships.
I
Absolutely.
believe
What
though, because when we talk about marriage, I do believe that relationships, like our friendships, have damn near the same vows as a marriage.
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you my friend or whatever the case is, I love you better or worse through whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? It's the same things. We not intimate on you know what I'm saying? But it has the same qualities, the same
Right.
shit. You know what I'm saying? And being a friend because you know we ain't fucking
I
with.
like that. I like that. I like that, man. Hey, You
Yeah.
said something real intelligent on the last episode, and boy, you staying consistent. 'Cause boy, that boy smart. Hey, Tuskegee did not cheat you. You hear
No,
me?
no, Alabama
Alabama
A&M.
A&M,
Alabama A&M. My bad.
A&M,
Alabama. My
baby.
bad.
Hey man,
Alabama
look,
A&M did not cheat you.
look. When you don't see each other, or interact with each other for like 6 months or more, you're different people. So you got to get back
That's a
in
fact.
tune with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, when I came back from New York, I tried to get like Frenchie, you specifically. I tried to get back in tune with you because I didn't know you anymore. So I had to get back to knowing you to figure out like who you was. You know what I'm saying? You look like
Hey,
buttons
hey,
right now.
what'd you find? And what'd you find out?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit was different. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Like
you more
what?
slow
Like what?
motion. I mean, you're more slow motion. It's not like you just out and about. And
Right,
everything like that.
right.
You're more slow motion and you more methodical and, strategic about, shit that you do now. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? You think about it. It's like even hanging out and all that. It's like,
As we all should be at this point.
yeah.
No,
I mean, how old
that's
are
not
we?
true. Hold on. Let me
How
talk.
old are we?
I agree.
How
Hold
old
on.
are
Let me
we?
respond. Let me respond to what this brother said on my name. On hanging out, you can come hang out with me in my crib.
Right.
I got a crib too.
Right.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So I'm supposed to just come
And-
down
and when-
there.
when you
I wanna
invite
get
me-
with Frenchie, I
the
want to see
next time you
I gotta get in my
invite me-
car and go all the way downtown every
The
single
next
time.
the next time you invite me, I will find it hard to turn it down.
Invite the brother.
Nah, he has invited me, but next time you invite me, I'll find it hard.
But let's
to
get
turn
back
it down.
on these marriages and relationships, though. Real
All right,
talk.
come on, commentator.
It's the same
I told
thing,
you
though.
about
I
this
like what.
commentating shit earlier
But
today.
don't be lost on what Ann said. It's the same thing. So
It is.
Go ahead,
He's
Kerry.
absolutely correct.
Go ahead.
He's absolutely
Go ahead,
correct.
bro.
Anthony, what do you expect out of a relationship? Because you've been
What do I
married, what,
expect?
16 years? You said
17.
17. I'm sorry.
17. It'll be 18 this year, but 17. I mean, like, I'm simple, man. So what I expect is like the same thing. Like, you treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if that's it right there, you know what I'm saying? How I want to be treated is how I'm gonna treat you. And if I'm treating you like shit, 9 times out of 10, I'm getting treated like shit. So, I just expect, have a relationship. I don't expect no abuse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But and we've learned to like put abuse in different categories of what type of abuse and what we take. You know what I'm saying? But because I believe we just all been raised around abuse, so abuse is gonna happen. But I just expect no physical shit, no physical abuse. You know what I'm saying? We cool. Just like I said, how I treat you, you treat me. It's nothing. It ain't nothing too much expectation. Men are simple for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't speak for all men, but I'm a man, so I'm just saying we simple. We're simple creatures, man. We're
Absolutely.
Yes,
not. You know what I'm saying? So
fact.
that's it, you know.
And my answer's the
and
same.
Let me, and
Go
I
ahead.
do have some like as far as expectation, I do have some shallow expectations. You know what I'm saying? So I expect my woman to be look a certain way. Like I expect her to look like sort of like when we got married. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, my boy said he expects his woman to cook, clean, fuck, and shut up.
No, he ain't say that. He ain't say that. He ain't say that. I don't know
He
what
did
you
not
listen
say
He's
to.
that.
talking about appearance.
He talking about
He's talking
aesthetic.
about appearance.
He talking about aesthetically.
Cooking like you know what I'm saying. We're in a different. We live in a different time frame too. So our marriages are totally different from marriages of 50, 60, 70 years ago, 30, 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a different. We in a different time.
Yeah.
Like our 2 generations ago, these motherfuckers can't even drink at the same water fountain. You know what I'm saying? They're fighting a different fight now. Than what we got. You know what I'm saying? And what we
that's
going
real.
through.
Yeah,
So-
Chris Rock had a joke on his Tambourine special talking about his divorce. And how he was like, if you raised up in this generation married, like 10 years would equal 30 or 40 years of what our grandparents because of this phone. And your woman is knowing every move and everywhere that you going. Like it's a totally different day and age than what our grandparents or even our parents had to experience when it comes to relationships. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. But this is a good question I want to get to, man. I'm gonna go to Bonds first. Because Bonds always has a lot to say about everything. So what type of women do you attract and what type of women are you attracted to?
Damn.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because a lot of times we have a lot to say about relationships, but I feel like a lot of times we put ourselves in those situations with who we attract to.
Okay, well, you know what?
Let him answer it.
Historically, I've always been attracted to go-getters, hustlers, those who get out there and they get to it. But it seems like once I get them, they just kind of like slow down on all aspects. You know what I'm saying? They slow down.
Why is that? Why is that?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Because it's like we got together because of the hustle.
But they ain't go-getters.
When I got with them, they was go-getters. They was getting out here getting to it. And then after that, when I get with them, they slow down all the way. Yeah. And I don't know why that is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to check myself to see, is it me? Am I enabling them to just slow down? Because
that could very well be it. Yeah.
Because I'm getting to it every single day. It's just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just that's what I do. I get to it every single day. I'm always on the hustle, always on the grind. But historically, I've always been attracted to go-getters. I've always dated historically Black women. Even though white women, I'll be honest with you, they kind of, look a little different. You know what I'm
saying? Hey, he said historically Black.
Historically Black women. You heard that?
I was like,
I thought he was about to say historically Black college.
Hey, but I love to answer this question.
Go ahead. You up next, Kurt. Same question for you, brother.
And I love what Barry said. Man, I'm attracted to people who are attracted to me. You know what I mean? Like I can be honest about that. Like I'm into people who are into me. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's
I'm
real.
Not that I'm never gonna be with somebody that I'm jumping through hoops for. Cause
right.
That's
not
you.
Who
I am.
Right.
And I'm honest with myself.
Oh, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, that's safe. That's a good way to play it.
I'm into somebody that's into me 100%.
Right.
You know what I mean? Death do us part. All that. You know what I'm saying?
But CK, you gotta understand that a lot of us was taught the wrong way. A lot of us, I don't know, like my mom.
I'm not saying my way is the right way.
You stepping on the next question. You stepping on the next question because we about to get into that. But go ahead, Kurt. I want everybody to answer the question first before you get into the next segment, bro.
It ain't gotta be so structured, Diallo.
It don't.
It can just be a conversation where we just flowing.
It is. We is flowing. But go ahead.
We gotta announce the next question.
But you don't have
Calm
to have
down,
a tantrum.
Hey, I was thinking.
You gotta drive down to Lachlan. Let me know.
I was thinking about that meme. I was thinking about the meme with the little boy. He always do like that.
Yeah. You drive down. I bet you won't walk back. I bet that.
But Johnny J, same question for you. What type of women do you attract, and who are you attracted to?
I'm attracted to short, thick. What? Short.
Keep it 100. You attracted to straight up city chicks, city girls. Keep it 1,000. I know you, boy.
That's not even 1,000. That's not even true. Like this is the same guy that said he had to move
we
back.
We gonna go cap. Go ahead. Let's go cap.
And learn us. He had to move back and fall in love with Kurt all over again. So he used to call him like, this is the same guy. This is the same guy. This is the same guy. I had to re-fall in love with you. That's why I was calling you. That's why but he know me. But he know what I like. He know what I like.
But, hey,
I was gonna make a joke out of it. I was gonna make a joke out of the question if I was so rudely interrupted. But for the past since I've been single for this last almost, like I said before, almost 2 years, I have to agree with what I was always told from my grandmother, God rest her dead, Gloria Morgan always said, Jay like them light-skinned girls. So I'm attracted to short, somewhat light-skinned, brown-skinned women. I have nothing against dark women. Don't get me wrong. A woman is a woman. Everybody want a queen and somebody on their side. But I come to grips with that My brother always say that. All my friends say that I'm attracted to light-skinned women. I am. I can admit that. But I don't have no problem with talking or even getting to knowing a dark-skinned woman. That's just where I took the question. That's what I took from it.
And let me say this: I want to answer for myself because I didn't get a chance to answer. And my answer is the same as Kurt, but it's connected to what my brother just said. I like who like me, and growing up, light-skinned girls did not like me. They said I was too dark. So I had a really strong disdain for light-skinned women as I got older when I started dating. So I would only date who really liked me. So I totally agree. And yes, we always tease my brother about, having a thing for them light-skinned joints. But what I wanted to get to next though, Bonds, because you had started to go in that direction, man. What type of relationships did you grow up seeing? Because honestly, the relationships that we saw, whether it be in our home or our aunts and uncles and grandparents or people in the neighborhood, it kind of shapes how you look at relationships and marriages. So what type of relationships did you witness growing up?
All right, well, look, I'm gonna get a little serious on this one.
Okay.
Minus all the joking and stuff. I'm gonna have to get a little serious on this one. Coming up, to be honest with you, I really didn't see too many real relationships coming up because my mom was a single mom. She worked all the time. She had boyfriends and they would come through and everything, but you know what I'm saying? They were like bum niggas. They was bums. Like for some reason, she just looked like these just bum ass niggas that just didn't have no place to stay, no nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I can't let you do that though, man. Come on, Bond. Come on, Bond.
I mean, what y'all talking about? Y'all talking about being real or what?
I'm just saying, Nate Holland. I know you don't classify Nate Holland as a bum.
Nigga, that's my dad, nigga.
Exactly.
Exactly. No, I just said she was a single mother, so that actually says that if she's a single mother,
But go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut your knowledge, but I just love Nate so much. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
I just seen, bro. If we're gonna be real, let me know if we're gonna be real. If we not,
no, we being real. We being real.
If we not, just cut it out. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
Cut that part out if we're not gonna be real.
No, we being real. We being real.
I thought we was gonna be real to try to, you know what I'm saying, snatch somebody who probably went through the same shit that I went through and whatnot to be able to see, have a breakthrough. But my mom really liked dudes that was just like down on their luck. And she always had to take care of them. She was always a people pleaser. She wanted to take care of these cats and it would see these, these hurt dogs and just like pick them up and try to nurse them to health. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about my dad. My dad always had his shit together. My dad was always had his shit together type dude. He was like, he perfect credit type, you know what I'm saying? Always houses, rental property, all that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But what my mom liked and what she was into and what she gravitated towards was, dudes that always just never had their shit together. And that's what I kind of took on when I started dating women. I would always date women that, had less than me and women that was, really not as ambitious, you know what I'm saying, until I would say about 98. And I started really clicking and getting it. Like, you know what? I ain't dating nothing. I don't want to date no chick that needs me. I want to date a chick that does not need me because they got everything going for themselves, everything, moving for themselves, and they don't even need me. I'm just somebody that they just want to have along. You know what I'm saying?
You figured that out at 20, at 21?
Yeah, that changed my dynamic. Yeah, no doubt.
So you became a leech.
Who? A leach?
So you was looking for a woman that had.
You did not hear. Did you not hear me? Did you not hear me? I just said I dated chicks. I wanted women that did not need me. They just wanted me alone. They didn't need me.
So if you're just going along, you sound like she's holding your hand and she's taking the lead.
There's no leech. There's not leech.
I asked the question.
That's what I'm trying, and I'm answering it for you. Leech ain't got nothing to do with that. If I got a woman that does not need me, that means that I'm coming along and I don't have to sit here and be paying for this, paying for that because she got her shit together. Or maybe I should have said a woman that got her shit together. Maybe I should have said that.
But you said just go on. I would just want her to bring me along. So I said that's why I asked the question.
No. As far as I probably should have phrased it a little bit better.
You was real.
I should have phrased it a little bit better.
Vanilla.
That's my fault. I should have phrased
it. No, you good.
I meant a woman that just wanted me.
But you do got leech qualities, though.
She wanted me to be in her life, but she didn't.
My opinion.
What I want to say though is too.
Yeah, same question for you, Ant.
Well, one, I want to say what type of women I attract because I didn't answer that.
Oh, you didn't get
to
to answer that? I'm sorry, brother.
And I don't want to sound thirsty and shit. Like,
Right.
I didn't answer it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That, but
You
me,
like my
I
brother.
attract
You
the
like
wo-
them
I
light
attract
skins
the
too.
woman that
But go ahead.
I attract the woman that I'm wanting at that particular time. Like whatever my energy is that I'm giving off that I want from a woman is the woman that I attract at that specific time. Like my wife, I knew my wife. I knew. Never mind.
She walked in the room.
No, she didn't walk in. Nah, she didn't walk in. But I knew I was gonna marry my wife a long time ago too, though, because it was it was just some things that I saw. But as far as but the women I attract is the women that the energy I put off. Put it that way. So if I'm looking for just some fun, that's the type of woman I'm attract. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? If I'm looking for, if I was look like, cause really I got married young. What's say 27? So how many, because we all been married, like Bonds, you got married later than us. So you were older. You get what I'm saying? When you got married versus when all of us got married, pretty much. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
So
said I was never gonna get married. You right.
right,
Sure
you know
did.
what I'm saying? So our single life, my single life career, like as they say in the sports world, was cut short. You know what I'm saying? And so, uh, part then the next question, the relationship.
What type of relationships did you see growing up?
Yeah, the relationships I saw growing up was no example. Like my mama was she didn't like there was no she didn't bring like if I she a woman, so but what she did she didn't bring around me. So mama I was raised in a single household. I know my daddy, my dad, I would go there the summers, but there wasn't I didn't have a male example like to show me like, okay, you do this, do this, do this. It's been my mama, and my brother. And then so it was some things for me that I was lacking in a marriage, you know what I'm saying, coming from as a man, because I never saw it. I never had the example. So there was something I just didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And I married a woman who comes from her relationship from a two-parent, like you said, a two-parent household. You know what I'm saying? So she has a father in her life who is instrumental. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, if I'm giving dating advice, I say you want a woman that has her daddy in her life, that was in her life. I'm gonna tell you that one. But you know what I'm saying? But I didn't, like me as a man, like I suffered some things later, like it didn't show up till later for me that I was lacking. I was inadequate.
Right.
Because I never saw it. You know what I'm saying? So now, once I did find that out, you know what I'm saying? Now it's for me to make that correction. But that my example, I didn't have an example for a man growing up. So
let me ask you this before I go to Kurt and my brother with the same question, and it's a quick follow-up. Had you been raised with your grandparents who was married for what 60-some years before Papa passed away, got rested dead? 66. Do you think that a lot of those questions that you went into your marriage unanswered, you would have had those had you been raised with a papa in the household on an everyday basis?
Yeah.
I figured that. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I mean, because that we're creatures of habit of what we see. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like a person, like I believe a person doesn't change. A person makes changes. You know what I'm saying? So once I've become like I can't change, I can make changes though. You know what I'm saying, to what the situation is. But it's hard. It's hard when it creates in a relationship where my wife just expects me to know something and I don't, because I didn't
see it.
You know what I'm saying? To know it. So that creates, certain types of issues within, you know what I'm saying? But
I love that.
But yeah,
Kurt.
that's what I saw.
So we're answering the question of what did we see growing up?
What type of relationships did you see growing up?
Yeah, so my father really wasn't in the picture. He was elusive in that child support area.
Said elusive.
Elusive. Hey, that's a great word. Elusive. I like the way you elusive. Where did the moderator go? Where did he go?
Why elusive, bro? Just
You know, with my father really not being in the picture, I was, tasked with finding my own, figuring out the situation for myself. And, what really caught my eye was a lot of negative things. You know what I mean? Like I shared with y'all earlier in the text message. I gravitated to guys that were, more so selectors and movers and shakers. You know what I mean? The type of guys
Say
that,
what it is. Say what it is.
the guys were pimps. So I struggled with differentiating. Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out.
Differentiating.
There we go. Differentiating, that type of lifestyle to, that especially just not the lifestyle that you see visually, but the concepts that are in like, Pimp, Story of My Life, or the Mac, because
Donald Goins.
For some of these brothers that, just don't have no game, they could pick something up like that, you know what I mean? And at least have somewhere to stay. And that's a lot, a lot of these brothers settle for it. But so
I was always like, y'all boy, nah, I ain't got no game. They just understand my story.
Right. But that's the game of all game. You know what I mean? Why pay for it if you can get it for free? That's the accumulation of all those stories.
Right.
But so the point I'm trying to make is, women are some powerful creatures. You know what I mean? They bring forth life. So when I say what I saw when I was growing up, I had to completely, divorce that. And that was inside of my marriage that I had to divorce that thought process. Which was real crucial, and which may make some of the things I say screw, but also makes me more appreciative of the person I'm with.
That's dope. That's dope.
I'm proud of you, brother.
Pass the church plate, pass the collection plate, baby.
Right. Jay, same question for you, brother.
When it comes to this question, I think now this dude will be watching this episode and put a smile on his face and talk about my pops. I gravitated to the lead in my household, which was my father from day one, from when it was time to get that butt whooping when I was acting a fool, to the love that I received from my mom, because everybody know I'm a mama's boy. But to follow my dad, I think it was in my marriage from the very beginning, is just being a provider. That's the one thing I took from my dad more than anything. All of my friends and my family know the way I work and the way I get to it. My dad raised me. If you want to live a certain lifestyle, you got to work a certain lifestyle. And that's just what I always done. I'm not one who went to college and graduated and have a salary position. So a lot of my time goes to my job being an hourly worker, but I'm going to go get it because I want to travel. I want to wear the clothes I want to wear, buy my gym shoes, take care of my daughters and push them on into their future. So I just work as hard as I do. So that's what I gravitated towards, was just seeing my dad walk in the door after a long second shift, third shift. We was being kids. You knew that time when my dad was coming. I can remember having an old 12-inch black and white, staying up to 10:30, 11 o'clock at night watching Sanford and Son, and cut it off real quick because dad coming in after a second shift. That's what I gravitated towards, and that's what I am today. You know what I mean? Pick that up from him. And that's just what I seen and what I observed growing up.
Yeah, and for me, I echo the same because we was raised in the same household, but I was the type of kid that would look at different situations and different scenarios and not just my own, right? Because I remember growing up as a kid, my parents got married real young. My mom was 20 and my dad was 21. and a lot of their friends, all of them got married. And this is no disrespect to any of them, but a lot of them didn't make it. A lot of their marriages didn't make it. And me just being a person that's, try to look and dissect things like what happened in those situations, what happened in those marriages. I remember some of my younger cats that I grew up with in Chicago that was a little bit older than me and looking at things that went wrong in their marriage, and they would just flat out tell me, you know what I mean? So I would learn from those situations and try to incorporate some of those things when it was applicable to put it into my relationship, and just learn and just try to be a sponge and try to get as much knowledge and information from other people in their situation. Because at the end of the day, the things that we're going through, our grandparents, our parents, our great-grandparents, they went through a lot of these same things. It's just a little bit different in the time and the day and the age that we live in. So seeing relationships, whether it be good or bad, can be very beneficial for you and your relationship if you are smart enough to take the good and to divorce yourself from the bad. This is a crucial question right here, Bonds. I'm gonna go to you first, since you know what I'm saying, Mr. Ants in the past. How has social media affected relationships? Right? If you look online, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything, it's about men versus women, relationship. You know what I'm saying? How has social media affected relationships in your eyes?
I mean, social media has pretty much damaged relationships, to be honest. It gives you that comparison. Like they say, comparison is the killer of all joy. And that's what it is. It's comparison. You're looking at everybody else thinking that
that was impressive.
What they're supposed to be doing, and you're supposed to be, living the way you're supposed to be living, and you're supposed to be, going on trips and doing this. And now it's to the point where everybody's going on trips, and then they ain't doing shit, because I done seen this shit firsthand. They ain't doing nothing the whole time, but then they set these little moments up so that they can share them online to make you think that it's all good and that it's just so smooth. Like, oh, look at me and babe, we doing this. Oh, look at me and babe, we doing. As soon as they take that picture, it's back to silence.
They ain't got shit.
For real, keep all of that. Me, I don't even post anything about my kids anymore. I don't even post anything about my private life anymore, just because I don't really see the need to do any of that. Because when you look on there, people that you're looking at your post and whatnot, they really don't care about you. They really give two shits about you. If they really,
I will also say something else.
Sharing that with me, Bonds. That's how you feel when I post.
No, I'm just saying. If you in my stratosphere, if you're part of my tribe, then you already know what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? Because we chat on a regular, or we chat, or you ask, or you converse, or you hit me up and be like, bro,
I got it. Can I give my brother some pushback? Because he said he don't like when we agree.
Always push back. Go ahead, bro.
I gotta disagree with you on this. I gotta disagree with you on this.
Go ahead.
Just because you don't give us a play-by-play of what might be going on in your home and in your life, it still don't mean you don't share it to the world what's going on. Because when you online and you having your black conservative talks, right? You talk about these women and how marriage is this and that and the third. So the average person go look at you.
Ain't got nothing to do with it. No, that's for dudes that are going through the same shit. It ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't think that just because you see what I put on my stories or whatever, that I'm directly going through that at that moment. No, it's not.
I'm not saying you're going through nothing. What I'm saying is
social media.
Right, exactly.
No, I'm reposting good information that young brothers, because that's who I'm vested in, helping to help them to get the nuggets. Hold on. Think about it.
Let him finish.
Hold on. I'm going to say this. If my mother,
hey, we got to get it under control. Go ahead.
If my mother was more involved in my personal life in vetting my girlfriends, like I've seen Miss Joyce vet Charles' girlfriends, and Miss Vicky vet your girlfriend, and Miss Joy vet your girlfriends. Trust me, I wouldn't be in any situation that I wouldn't have had none of the heartbreaks or none of the heartaches or even the issues that I've had in my life. Trust me, my mother wasn't in there. She was working, she was doing her thing, and I don't blame her, but she was doing her thing. But that's the thing, they're not getting those nuggets. Little boys aren't getting those nuggets. They're being taught to be simps, to be taught to be son husbands and whatnot, and that's how they grow up, and that's how they get used and abused and whatnot, and get caught up in the ringer. That's why I share the stuff that I share, because there's some cats that need to hear it and see that.
Who's teaching them that?
Huh?
Who's teaching them that?
They mamas.
So you saying from coming men coming from a single parent household?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
because I came from a single parent
can't
household. I came from now. I'll tell you this: a part of the reason I wanted to get married is because I hung around with D and them so much. I saw their father in one. I used to be over there. So you might have thought that I was his fourth kid or whatever because I was over there so much that I would see him coming in from work. I would see, I would see all of this. What'd you say?
Fifth kid. But go ahead.
5. I would be. Well, I mean, what's next? Keisha wasn't there. Keisha wasn't there.
Six. Six.
What are you talking about? Is
I was over there. I was over
Candace, me. Me.
I took your spot. Now I'm in.
Unless I had another kid I ain't know about. Keisha wasn't there. So, you know what I'm saying? It was me, Jay, Candace, me. And I was over there so much that that's how
he just left me
Saturday morning, he would be like, get up, clean up. He didn't say everybody get up and clean up except for Bonds. Nah, it was Bonds. Hey, my man, Slim, get up, clean up. Yeah.
Well, let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kurt.
No, I just want to echo what Barry was saying and, say, generally intelligent thing to do if you don't have a strong male figure in your life, look for one. And that's what most, successful people have done is find someone that they can mirror themselves after, because they see success in their relationships. And that's why we refer to, of course, you guys, parents. I mean, that's something, I also had a stepdad that came along later on.
Shout out OG Ron.
Later on and tried to steer me in certain ways. But man, that pimping and that manipulation, you know what I'm saying? Our brother had to shake that like that COVID,
Same question for you, Ant, man. The dynamics of social media and our relationships today.
I mean, social media has caused where, niggas put all their business out there. You know what I'm saying? Social media has caused a whole variety of things. It shapes people's relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because social media now is like we used to just watch TV. You know what I'm saying? Just watch TV. Now we got reality TV really all the time, looking at people's pages and social media and all this stuff. And because of who we are, the culture we are attracted to drama and toxic shit. So we like to see toxic shit. We like to hear this shit. So then we bring, so when we own that energy comes into the relationships, comes in like we don't think it is, but it comes in there. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a big play on relationships. Social media to me that's where you go. That's where they go to find the answers. Is social media. Social media raising husbands and wives, or is social media promoting marriage? No. Social media is promoting independent, strong woman. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what race, color, whatever you want to call them, whatever it is, whatever. It's just now we got independent, strong women. You know what I'm saying? Broke niggas can't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you broke, you can't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? And broke is
that's what it seems like.
9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? You work 9 to 5. Now you can't get this, bro. You know
there's always that meme that broke brother get that pipe like you know what I'm saying? Like the best. You know what I mean? It's always that
he fighting for his life.
It's always that free.
So Jay, what's your same question for you, man? What's your take on social media and how it influences good or bad relationships?
It definitely influenced it. I don't know if I want to say good or bad, but with us, our generation coming up in the 80s and the 90s, on sitcom TV, this cell phone to me has really become our form of entertainment of what a sitcom is. Because I don't know if I'm like anybody else, but when I'm in the bathroom doing what I do, sometimes that takes 20 to 30 minutes just messing around on Instagram, Facebook messages, and you're really in tuned into that. So you can see that's why the price of TVs have dropped so much, because this cell phone is everything we need. And that shapes us, and this is my opinion, that shapes us in a different way than what we've seen in the 80s and the 90s from seeing written script TV. This phone is doing all of that. So it's really our reality TV. I don't even mess with reality shows, but this phone is my reality TV. This is what we do. Let it be educational videos or jokes that we watch. That's just my opinion on the situation.
Yeah, and I think relationships now are tougher because of social media because a lot of people are so hungry and thirsty to broadcast every aspect of their life as far as it pertains to their relationship, and I think that's not good. You know what I'm saying? You know, one of my son's baseball coaches was saying he's like social media, like they use Twitter now to recruit kids for baseball, so scouts don't have to come to as many games, but it's a false narrative because on my social media, I'm only going to show you my good highlights. I'm not going to show you my bad highlights, right? I'm not going to show you my strikeouts. That's why this past year I started posting when my son may have struck it out or hit into a double play or something like that to show a full scope of what happens in life. And that's how these relationships are as it pertains to social media. If you go show your relationship, that's cool, but be real strategic about the things that you share because you sending out false information or just don't put it up there at all. That's just my personal opinion, but I think that, you know, the war between men and women and this relationship battles, like this stuff has to stop, man, because I feel like this is a strategic plan to keep us divided and to keep us separated because at the end of the day, you know, when we're not procreating, then our species is slowly dying away. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate to be a Debbie Downer and go that deep, but it's the reality. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't like each other, then that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Social media also has caused every goddamn person to be a goddamn counselor or
An
a
expert.
motherfucking
That
expert
is a fact.
at
How are you
oh
saying that word on Church After Hours?
huh? You said what?
No, we got influencers, too many
You said what? What
influencers
happened?
and too
What
many
happened, Louis?
scammers.
This
The,
is church after hours, man. This is after hours, man.
okay, okay,
You know what I'm saying? This is
okay.
after. But I'm just
So
saying,
Jay, are you
everybody.
calling preachers
Oh,
scammers?
and I said, but because I said God, I said GOT anyway. But I
Okay.
that's how I always say
I
it.
know you did. I know you did. I'm just messing with
But
you.
but yeah, but everybody's an expert. So now you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It creates well, this woman said this and this man said this and you know, so it's that makes the whole relationship tough in the mind too, because you gotta listen to and a lot of it be bullshit because they just trying to get like numbers up and likes and things of that nature that
Right.
is really causing more dysfunction and confusion.
Absolutely.
Because you fight,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Like
That's a fact.
like the problem, like what, and it's you know Jay Z said what you know what you eat don't make me shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't be comparing on social media all this stuff to other people's stuff. Yeah,
Exactly.
you can take some good stuff from them and yeah, it may incorporate it, but that ain't what made y'all work. If you ain't never
Right.
saw that shit, you know what I'm saying? That ain't
Right.
what made you and your whoever your person is work. But you know,
Yeah, I would say the best place to live in is 3D. And I'm not
Mm.
talking about, not no goggles on your eyes. I'm talking about, real life.
In the now.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, living in the now. And that's, interesting when you say live in the now. It's a good some good medicine for relationships is not to keep bringing up old things after you done
Mm.
forgave.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. That's
Um,
real. That's real.
not put too much high expectations on the person that you met at the place where you met them. Like my brother Inside always say, meeting people where they are.
Yeah.
Um,
Agree.
and I'm really speaking against something that I go hard for is elevation, and when that's not being met, I get upset with that sometimes. So,
Yeah. We all do.
um, yeah, so with social media, I just think like once again, live your experience. Don't get caught. You cannot. The worst thing that we can do is compare ourselves to somebody else.
So Kurt, you don't be liking them post relationship goals. You don't like them. I hate
No,
that
because
stuff.
I
I hate it.
personally I don't because I live with my wife and I work
That's
with my
right.
wife.
That's right.
I think social media has got where it makes you expect like I you know it makes you expect like your spouse or your partner is supposed to make you happy. Like,
Mm.
and they have nothing to do with your happiness.
Your happiness depends on you.
That's a
Correct.
fact.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a
But
good
see,
point.
we you know, social media's got like, oh, this person needs to make me feel this way and feel
Right.
happy. And no, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't expect my wife to make me happy. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
not her job.
It's not at all. That was, you know, it wasn't.
But I mean, you guys got to think about this, man. We're all older. We're all in our 40s. You got to think about the young kids who are coming up who are in this, like
Oh.
20s, 25, 30, 35 years old and whatnot, who are out here dating in this dating pool right now. And they got to deal with just the craziness because I can't go to profiles on Facebook, Instagram, or anything without seeing some chick showing off her assets. Let's just say the assets. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is. That's all it is. And it's just like you think about that. Like back in the day when we were young and we were out here dating chicks, it was a lot, you know, to be desired as far as like looking at a chick because they didn't really put it out there all like
It's no mystery now. It's
There's
no
no
mystery.
mystery. It was a lot different when we came up, and there was a lot more sanctity when it came to relationships and even the thought of marriage at the end, you know. But now the respect level for that is gone.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for you not to shake your ass when you paying for it. When I'm making X amount of dollars from from doing this, it's kind of hard to say no because that's what social media also has produced.
Yeah, prostitutes.
You call it what you want. I mean, I'm just saying I can't knock China for making $180 million a year off on her OnlyFans. It's got it. I'm saying you getting mad at we getting mad at
What's the
women.
difference? What's the difference in me
Nigga,
going
you
out here and
paying for it,
whatnot?
'cause you paying for it, nigga. We the ones paying for it.
Nigga,
If we ain't paying for it, they
I
won't
ain't
shake
paying for
it.
none of that.
Yo, who ain't paying? Somebody paying, Bonds. That's
I
what
know
I'm
He
saying.
ain't got to
perverted
edit
creeps.
nothing.
Perverted creeps who for real, that stuff right there ain't pee. It's horrible. It's like they out here doing that. But you think about it, that's what's keeping these boys controlled by these chicks because they trying to get to that box. And whatever chick, whatever her agenda is, whatever she want, all she got to do is utter it. Oh, you ain't gonna get this box, and they gonna acquiesce to everything. And that's what's messing up all of this stuff right here. Because
Well,
men
look,
ain't being here.
I would say to what Barry's saying is, OnlyFans are making people millionaires, certain people, but there are more women than there are men, correct?
Facts.
Way more.
So what seems to be happening is that these cluster of males are going after this one female when there are a bunch of different females out here. So in closing, I would like to say about that is, find somebody who likes the things you like. Like, one thing about me and my wife, I think we are both aggressive. I think we are both we love sports, we watch sports, we talk about sports. A lot of times she knows more about, sports than me. And that's just she plays sports, I play sports. We work together and when we both are, I think, pushing each other. So that's what I would say. Don't be scared to wife that person that might be your best friend, that y'all real cool with, and I think some of us settle for images that, even before social media, that just, TV, presented to us and what we thought we were supposed to be with and do with, and that's all I would want to say in closing. Just find somebody. Once again, find somebody who's into you.
Mm-hmm. Johnny J's to you and then Bonds.
I mean, on my mission right now, because I definitely want to be in a relationship. I don't want to do this by myself. Not really. Definitely a marriage. I'm not even gonna say a relationship. A marriage, not a typical marriage in the way that this court system is doing it. Because this court system just did me real bad. But as far as being with somebody, I want somebody that want me as much as I want them. So for it to be that way, you definitely need to marry or find somebody that's your friend. Like,
Well, Marvin Gaye say, "I want you, but I want you to want
That's
me
what
too."
I'm dancing to in my head, bro.
I want you to want me too.
You see, you must have seen me. You seen me when I started dancing.
Yeah.
I want you.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Go ahead,
That's
brother.
exactly.
Go ahead.
The
Preach,
only
brother.
way for it to be that
What
way.
Ann say? What Ann say? Pass
the plate.
Hey,
I like that. I like that. Go ahead, Jay.
I mean, the best way for it to be that, it's got to be laughing at the same jokes on the same level as far as when it comes to finances and what we're both trying to achieve together and the direction that we're going. I want, and just like, I mean, it might sound cliche, but I want to be with my best friend. I want to kick it, play cards, travel, drink, all of that. I drink. I can put that out there on the church. Let the church know. You know what I mean? I drink, but as far as what it, as far as when it comes to,
I think wine is.
Right. When it comes to the direction that I want to push my kids in, I got 4 girls, so I want us both to be on that same level. So that's just what I got to say in closing, man. Just somebody that wants me as much as I want them. I mean, that type of loving, and you walk in the kitchen and she washing the dishes or cooking up a meal and you slap her on behind and, boy, stop playing with me, and she do the same to me, in reverse. That's what I want. Not on my
ass, huh?
I knew he was gonna say that.
Slap in your ass, huh?
I
get some booty play with her.
Way to make the babies, baby.
Little nasty R&B cat. You know what I mean?
Same question for you, at closing remarks, brother. Talk to me.
Michael, y'all, just me, the best thing for me is, my closing remarks is opposites do attract. So you can't just be always, you know what I'm saying? Everything ain't aligned.
That's true.
There has to be something that, that's a tug of war or something, but in a good way, positive way. And the Bible says, God wants us to be whatever, he wants us to be equally yoked. You know what I'm saying? So what does equally yoked mean? You know what I'm saying? Equally yoked is we're equally yoked. If you know what a yoke is, we're equal in this yoke that we are trying to partnership and get out of, however that may be. But 2 heads are better than 1. So, I mean, we all play sports, and you know what I'm saying? I kind of look at it sometimes as we teammates. We are teammates. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shaq and Kobe didn't get along all the time, but they won championships. The goal is to win championships. So you treat people, you treat whoever the same way you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely. I'm gonna go in there and let Bonds have the last word. I agree with everything that everybody has stated, but I'll add this. I think
Don't give him the last word.
Nah, I'm gonna give him the last word, but I think that
we're gonna be here another 10 minutes. Like, real talk, man. Like, nah, man.
All right, go ahead, Bonds. I'll close it out. Go ahead, Bonds.
Thank you.
Well, since I just
Draymond Green, nigga.
Victim of hate there. I agree with Kurt what he said as far as being with somebody that likes you more than you like them. I know he said who is into you, but really,
because I didn't say that.
I'm about to say he did
not say that.
That's what he meant to say. That's what he meant to say. Somebody that like you more than you like them.
He tried to say
stop with the remix.
Because if you do that, you're going to be good.
He said Kurt was out here looking for pimp.
Hey, mothers tell their daughters that. They always say, get with somebody that loves you more than you love them. And that's what we should be actually teaching our sons, because if not, then it's going to be a rough road. And I've been victim of that in the past, but I tell you, that's one of the things that I feel that my son will definitely, take home, those learning lessons. 2 is if parents, especially mothers, are more involved in their sons' love lives, I feel like their sons will make a lot better decisions. You know what I'm saying? Especially because your mother's supposed to have your best interest at heart. Now, I can't say that for everyone, but your mother's supposed to have your best interest at heart. And she's going to try to keep you out of falling into those traps, especially that nowadays a lot of women are actually, creating for different men.
This is episode 1 of 3 episodes about relationships in the 21st century and marriages. The next episode will be all the sisters, and then the 3rd episode will be us on the panel together. Hopefully you enjoyed the conversation, got a little spirited tonight, but that's just brothers having respectful banter. And sometimes we agree and sometimes we don't. We'll see y'all next week. Church After Hours.